get a shot off against this.
And off we go. A close game now starting the second quarter. Here's Miami now.
You know, Jason Kidd has always been such a dependable player in the postseason, and last year was no different. He got it done again.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court for the Mavericks, Chandler out there with Haywood. Then there's Marion, and there's Terry, and it's Barea in at the point. Baseline try. Haywood, no good. Clark, you brought up Kidd. He had a much better time shooting the ball in the playoffs last year compared, Steve, to the regular season.
Well, you have to love the fact that, you know, Kidd finally got his first ring after so many years in the NBA. I think everybody, other than the Miami Heat, of course, was pretty happy to see Kidd get that championship that he deserves.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Hi, Kevin. For Corey Brewer, who's a long-rangey 6'9" defender, he's a very determined guy, saying, I guess you could say I'm a pest. I go hard all game. And, guys, every team needs a guy who they can lean on to be a shutdown defender on the perimeter.
Yeah, they can always use some defense. Thanks, Doris. That's good. 9 points for Wade.
Well, Miami last season, despite their struggles as they tried to find that rhythm with their new big three, they ended up finishing second in the NBA in team field goal percentage.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. Steve, getting back to the Heat, you look at who is taking their shots, and it isn't surprising to see the shooting percentage, Clark, I'm sure for you too, so high.
Well, I mean, you look at LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, all were right around 50% from the floor and accounted for 67% of the team's field goal tries. So, you know, it's hard to blame them for taking that higher percentage of the shots when they were making so many of them.
Butler kicks to Nowitzki. There's the three. Again, the miss by the Mavericks.
Boy, with an open look like that, he is so gifted. Man, you've got to play better defense. Eventually, he's going to make you pay.
You got that right. I mean, he'll do it from three-point land or anywhere on the perimeter, really, because he is a deadly shooter. You've got to do a better job defensively.
Mavericks trailed by 5. Here's Butler. Pushes up. LeBron against Terry. Fires for 3. Rebound by Mario Chalmers.
Good solid defense on the perimeter there, challenging the shot and not fouling.
Even the best shooters can be bothered by his defense.
There's a lot of contact there. Good call.
You know, he bothered his shot, but he still got a pair of free throws out of it.
And LeBron's numbers last season really slipped in the early part of the year as he tried to adapt to his new teammates and his new surroundings. But as the season went on, he became more and more effective. And that was one of the reasons he ended up with a career high in field goal percentage, right around 51% from the floor.
Tell you what, the defense wasn't backing down there because usually he can use his strength to fight through contact.
Bosh kicks to LeBron. Good ball movement. Here's Chalmers. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. Chalmers has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And going back to what Steve was talking about with LeBron, if he's being more efficient, Clark, with the ball, I don't think he is too concerned with his numbers, with his totals.
Kevin, that's one of the beauties of LeBron James's game to me. He's interested in playing the game of basketball at the highest level. If that means giving it to another player who's open, he's fine with that. If that means taking shots, he's fine with that. I love the fact that he's comfortable in who he is and is not worried about what other people think he should be doing. There was no question about it. He was going to finish that one off.
Well, Heat leading by 7. Picked up by Nowitzki. Miller outside. Three-pointer. No good. And Dallas the other way. And slam dunk by Butler.
Now that's a special order right there.
Not everybody can camp off a dunk like that.
Yeah, very difficult maneuver, but a tremendous one if you can pull it off.
Special thanks to the camera crew as well for giving us that last Sprite slam cap. And the Mavericks with some changes. Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Nowitzki. Chandler comes in for Sean Marion. And Rudy Fernandez is subbed in for Jason Terry.
Caron Butler, a very capable one-on-one scorer. He's a guy you can go to at the end of games because he can face up, a little bit like Carmelo Anthony, and use that triple threat to score on you.
Now Anthony defending. It's stolen by Wade. Fast break. Here we go.
Nice numbers from D. Wade. He has 9 points and a couple of steals for him also.
And I'll tell you what, by coming up with those steals, he's making the offense think, and he's making them do things they don't want to do.
So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe.
Not shying away from contact. They're getting to the line more this quarter.
I like their aggressiveness. They're not settling for outside shots. They're really getting into the paint and forcing some opportunities.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kevin, I think we can put to rest once and for all the idea that somehow Dirk Nowitzki is soft or that the Dallas Mavericks are soft. It's a label that had been spread to the whole team, and they are glad to put it behind them. Jason Terry said of Dirk Nowitzki, Dirk has huge resolve. Regardless of what people say about him, he's going to come to the gym every day and prepare the same way. He's been doing it for so long, and he still doesn't get the credit that he deserves. A championship will help get that credit rolling, guys.
Thanks, Doris.
Yeah, make no mistake about it. I mean, Dirk was never a pushover. I think that was an unfair label. But what winning the title did was it shed that label forever. And it kind of put his stamp on the history of his impact on the NBA. Just an amazing story, Dirk Nowitzki last year.
Here's Butler. Oh, yes! And the serious dunk to finish it off.
There isn't anybody in the building that didn't appreciate that throwdown.
Well, Steve, that's as fancy a finish as you could possibly get.
Serious degree of difficulty on that one.
The pass to House. Caron Butler covering.
That's such a tough call to make as a ref, but I think he got it right. The defender was not set.
Yeah, I thought he was leaning as well, Steve. You know, the Mavericks did a really good job against the East, and you have to be strong out of conference if you're going to grab the number 3 seed in the West.
You're right about the Mavs there, Clark. 22-8 against the East last year. Steve, some good numbers.
On a surprising note, they swept some of the bigger fish over in the Eastern Conference. 2 wins each versus Boston and Miami. Oddly enough, they struggled against Milwaukee, like playing down to your competition.
Sean Marion, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Kidd comes in for J.J. Barea. Kidd dishes to Marion. That's tipped. Back to Kidd. The tray. They get it back. Chandler's shot. Good.
And all 10 of their last points have come inside the paint, so defensively you've got to make an adjustment.
Yeah, and you got to do a little more to stop it, too. I mean, it's coming way too easy for him. At some points, you just got to buck up and say it's not going to happen.
Here's LeBron. And a strong finish with 2 hands.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you do it. Find a gap in the defense and attack that rim with force.
He is so good at doing just that.
Maybe as good as anybody. Just so athletic and strong.
Here's Kidd.
My goodness.
Beats the buzzer.
Wow.
Well, he just throws up a prayer and it gets answered.
And those kind of shots are such a big lift for any team going into a break.
And we'll be back momentarily live from Dallas.